What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Around the World with Steven. Welcome if you're new, and if you're returning, I appreciate you. What's up, well-decent travelers? Welcome back. Welcome. Love you all so much for your love, your care, your support, your comments, your likes, and everything. You're amazing, and I appreciate you so much. So, what do we have today? I was scrolling through social media and I came across a video. Now, this is not requested or anything, but it got me thinking. The title was really fascinating, and instead of me watching it, I'm like, yeah, why don't I watch it with my YouTube family, the ATW Vibe Zone, my family, so we discuss. This one says, how K-dramas romanticize stalking. And it's a video essay. I'm like, what? Because I haven't watched a lot of K-dramas. I actually got into the Korean scene, the entertainment scene, crime, and stuff like that. Enjoying every bit of it. It's eye-opening. But I did not know K-dramas romanticize stalking. Why that is a concern to me is that we've heard cases from Run Mango and other cases where like there's stalkers and people that stalk stars, right, and do harm to them. So if the movie industry in Korea is romanticizing that, could that be a reason why stalking is on the rise, or stalking is seen as normal to some people? That is crazy, and that is fascinating. Before watching this, I'm like, I gotta turn the camera on so we watch it together, so you educate me. Let me know if this is accurate. If it's not accurate, let me know. Let's check this out. Do all to like, share, subscribe. Link to the Discord is in the description. I love you all so much. Let's get it. Oh, and this is by the Kdrama Research Institute. The Kdrama Research Institute. So shout out to the Kdrama Research Institute. This is a video essay from them. Amazing. Let's check it out.
You know when you're walking home alone in the dark and you get anxious because someone is walking behind you? Don't worry, it's not a stalker. It's the love of your life.
What?
And that sinking feeling in your stomach? Those are just butterflies. At least according to a lot of K-dramas. This is a super common trope. A character is obsessed with the protagonist to a point that it should be creepy, but the stalking is somehow framed as romantic.
Dang.
Stalking, in this case, is referring to a variety of behavior patterns like unwanted repeated surveillance, following the victim in person, monitoring them, contacting them without their consent, sending them unwanted gifts, threatening them, and many other tactics.
Okay, so this is fascinating to me. Is this like the premise of all K-dramas, or like most K-dramas? Because I can see this being a plot of like a movie, or maybe one or two movies, where like the stalker becomes like the love of their life and whatever, like some fictional stuff. Now, I think it becomes a problem if it is the plot of all K-drama movies, or a lot of K-dramas, where every time there's a stalker, he's the love of your life. Every time there's somebody creeping up on your Instagram, looking through your window, that's the love of your life. That gives wrong impressions and send wrong signals to deranged people that is unacceptable behavior.
In media, there are typically two ways to depict stalking. Either you make that plotline into a scary psychological thriller in which the stalker is clearly a villain, or you make a romance drama in which an infatuated protagonist exhibits the same creepy behavior, but the story wants us to root for the couple. In this video essay, I want to explore what is it exactly that makes stalking look either cute or unsettling on screen. So lock your door, close your curtains, And let's discuss the romanticized depiction of stalking in K-dramas. The biggest difference between a romance and a thriller boils down to the visual language and the editing.
Oh wow, that is that I can see that. So it is the same stalking, right? They're both doing the same stalking, but one is in the daylight. They're showing how smitten he is. His face is like thinking about the victim, like, oh, I love her. We're gonna get married and this and that. And his face is gloomy, right? But in the other side, the creepy stalker, it's nighttime. All you see is shadow. Something's following you. And later, when he's about to strike, that's when his face comes into frame. And are they smiling? Are they smitten? No. They are like this. Oh my goodness. This is how the media twists stuff. It is the same action, but you see how the depiction is different? The look is different? That is insane.
There are usually a lot of shots of that character slow motion.
Wow. This is interesting. So that same act of stalking just could be manipulated by editing, by how warm the colors are, using more colors, vibrant colors, daytime, in the romanticized version, versus using darker themes, nighttime, uh, different angles, surveillance angles to depict. Man, I'm thinking about it, and who knows? I may have seen a movie like that. Or I may have seen movies like that, where like the love interest would go and then watch the, and how creepy, like you wouldn't even think that that is a creepy act because it's in the daytime, you're thinking, you're fascinated, you're rooting for the stalker. This is insane. They make you root for this love story in your head that you don't even see it as stalking. Wow.
The sound also has a huge impact on the scene and can influence the audience's perception of obsessive behavior. In K-dramas with romantic depiction of stalkers, the editors often add either a romantic love song, which conveys the characters' connection and chemistry, Or silly comedic music that shows how playful their interaction is. A lot of times, they even add a sparkling sound to emphasize how magical the moment is. The score is very different in horror depictions of stalking. There is often unsettling music that builds up tension, or ominous silence with distant steps in the background that keep getting closer, a violin screech here and there, or a heavy bass impact sound during a jump scare. Let's look at a couple examples to demonstrate how manipulative editing can be. I can't use the original music from these K-dramas for copyright reasons, so instead, I used a very similar sound to try and recreate the mood as close to the original as possible. First, let's watch this scene from The Smile Has Left Your Eyes, in which the protagonist is following the female lead at night after a fight. Okay,
Monsters, you're rooting for the the guy because it's like it's a sad story. The girl's definitely upset walking away, and the guy's walking behind so calm, so like down. You're like, oh my goodness, I hope he wins the girl back. Do you ever think about stalking? Do you ever, does it occur to you that that is stalking? It does not. It doesn't, bro. This is insane. And then the police, like the screech, they arrest him, and it's like, oh man, he's arrested. And the girl keeps walking. You're like, oh, I hope he gets out. I'm rooting for him to get the girl back. But that's stalking. Bro, I am really cheering stalking up. Are you serious right now?
and now let's watch the exact same scene but with a creepy soundtrack and see how the tone changes.
Shit. Yo! Hell yeah, arrest him! He's gonna kill her! Bro, that was just sound. The change all in sound. The second one had the sound like a creepy guy who's going to do something to the girl and the girl's trying to get away from him. The first sound made the whole thing romantic. It romanticized the whole thing. Same action, same character, same frame by frame, just sound manipulation. Sound change. Changed the whole scene. Oh my goodness. They didn't have to change the look. It wasn't warm. It wasn't anything. It was just the same scene, but the sound changed the whole thing. Man, my brain is about to explode. What?
See what I mean? I want to try number one. This is a clip from Something About 1%, a show with a very possessive male lead that people often recommend because the main characters supposedly have so much horny chemistry.
Oh boy.
The scene looks so playful and fun with that music. That's how we know this is.
It looks like a comedic thing. It looks like The Office or something. Yo, huh? Wow. So it's like hair stepping on its foot and stuff like that. Didn't even look like she was trying to get away from him. It looked like a fun comedic scene. Oh, it's quirky. It's nice. It's romantic. Oh, see how she stomped on him with her size 6 foot. Oh, he says it's playful. Just because of the sound manipulation, just sound. I want her to put a creepy sound to it so we see if it changes the scene. This is crazy.
Cute first kiss. I don't think it aged well. And this is what the scene looks like with a horror movie soundtrack.
Oh shit. Get away! Get away! Get away! Oh, he was about to.
The sound really changes the mood of a scene, doesn't it? The original music seems really inappropriate now. I am starting to suspect that editors use this type of music on purpose.
Yes!
Because they know how unsettling these scenes look like without funny background music. Next time you watch a K-drama, pay attention to the editing, because the music tells the viewers how they're supposed to feel and can distort their perception of what is actually happening on screen. Now, let's look at a way the screenwriters can distort depiction of stalking.
There is a bigger creep.
A very common trope that a lot of these K-dramas employ is the presence of an even bigger creep who makes the obsessive protagonist look like the good guy.
Oh my god, that is true. This is so true. So I realized this. Was it a Lifetime movie or something? It was a low budget movie. Now, I was so mad at the male lead role because I forgot, it's been a while. He was bothering this lady so much. Like in real life, I'm like, this is not happening in real life. This is not happening in real life. However, the plot was that there was this bigger creep, like they said, who was looming for the lady, and this guy comes to save the day, and all of a sudden oh, thank you, I love you, kissing, and I'm like, what the hell? Bro, I never liked the male character, and that didn't make me like him. That made me boom, like, this is crazy, this is insane. Where was the bigger creep? This is so true. They introduced the bigger creep to make the obsessive male lead look like a hero for stalking and for being obsessive. I know this. This is crazy.
Cheese in the Trap, both the series and the movie has this trope. The male lead is incredibly weird, but compared to a faceless, dangerous stalker, he looks like a harmless hero.
Yes.
This is a great way to make a morally gray protagonist seem desirable to the audience. The K-drama The Smile Has Left Your Eyes does the same thing. Sure, he is a murderer who keeps following the female lead, showing up unannounced, breaking into her house and threatening her if she doesn't talk to him. But there is a more annoying asshole in the story, so it's okay. Let's also look at this scene from True Beauty, in which the jealous male lead follows his crush while she's on a movie date with a different
Oh my
guy.
goodness.
He knows what he is doing is wrong, but because he was secretly watching them, he finds out that the guy is a playboy who already has a girlfriend and fully intends to take advantage of the female lead. Our hero then saves the day by beating up the guy and forcing him to dump her.
Nah, you need to be in jail, dog. Like, why is your 24 hours being an obsessive stalker of her? It doesn't make you a hero but it's a movie. The plot will just reel you in, and without like your guard is down. You're enjoying the whole story, and then all of a sudden you're rooting for a stalker. No wonder why a lot of people try to justify their actions when they're caught. Like, oh, I was in love with her. I wasn't. Bro, they watch these stuff. That is crazy. They probably have this bubbly music playing in their head. Pum 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 pum, just stalking and looking, peeping through it. Pum 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 pum. Yeah, we're gonna live happily ever after. Pum pum pum. And don't even know they're being a creep. Because this is what's happening in the media. This is all the movies they watch. Now, I'm not saying all K-drama is like that. Just like I said, I don't know about K-drama. I'm getting into it, but damn. There should be less romanticizing of stalking, period. We can have romantic movies without romanticizing stalking. That's all I'm saying.
Aw, he was just looking out for a girl, saving her from a broken heart, as if she can't manage her love life herself. Turns out, following people, beating them up, and meddling in their relationships is not that bad. His heart was in the right place. This trope implies the existence of good stalking versus bad stalking. By presenting stalking as a means to protect or save someone, K-dramas send a dangerous message that stalking can be justified or excused under certain circumstances. It creates a false narrative that violating someone's boundaries and invading their privacy is acceptable, as long as it is done with good intentions or in the name of love.
That's true. That's true. I have to go into my head and see how many times I've rooted for stalkers in a movie just because of a love scene. That is crazy. Imagine that you're there. Somebody taps you on the shoulder. Hey, I've been watching you for 6 months now, and I realize that friend of yours is trying to harm you. Bro, forget about the friend trying to harm you. You've been watching me for 6 months. I don't have privacy like you've been watching me. Yo, yeah, it's just like I sit in my car, watch you. I have a camera in front of your house. Bro, that is that is mind blowing. But in a movie, he would be heralded as a hero. You see how it looks in real life? It looks crazy. Somebody told me, oh, they're gonna, somebody. If you're not the FBI, why are you watching me? Oh, you wear a blue shirt yesterday and saw somebody try to do this and you wore that 4 months ago. Bro, why are you watching me? Who are you? Oh my goodness. Wow. This is eye-opening.
The whole "this is for your own good, I was just protecting you" narrative is exactly what a manipulative abuser would say. Lucky for the female lead in True Beauty, the character turns out to be a loving and sweet boyfriend. But in real life, this is a giant red flag.
Damn. What if the stalker is hot though? Yeah, man, he was
I also want to
hot.
point out that in
Stalk me, baby.
romanticized depictions of stalking, the obsessive character is often played by a very attractive actor. And this is a great point, but I don't think it is about the actor's looks in real life. I think it has more to do with how the characters are played and styled. Because every single one of these actors could easily play an unsettling murder.
Bro. The slow motion, man. You got to love it, man. Movie producers and directors are the most manipulative people I've ever seen in my life. Like, you know he's a stalker. But the scene starts like this. Yeah. And you're like, ooh, stalk me, baby. Stalk me. Bro, look at that. And then Usunasu, ooh, girl, body follows you a mile home and Usunasu, ooh, girl, body. Just because they're hot. So their stalking doesn't count. They're hot. The non-hot person is boom. The hot person is Uchuna Kuchu girl buddy. Crazy.
Murder. Just like every actor from a horror movie can play the sweetest green flag boyfriend in a different show. Everyone can look attractive with the right outfit and a good haircut. K-dramas usually tell the audience whether we're supposed to think a character is hot or ugly. Look at this guy, every straight woman in this show is swooning over him. He can't be a creep. He keeps violating the female lead's boundaries and doesn't take no for an answer, but he's tall and charming, so it is all balanced out. A creepy stalker is just some random delusional guy who's not popular, even though the actor is very attractive in real life. By virtue of being the main character, you automatically get an advantage with the viewers that makes them very forgiving. Consent doesn't work like that in real life though, and hot men don't get a free pass to violate someone's privacy. Hold on. Men are not the only ones who can be stalkers. What about women?
Stop playing. Girls can be creepy. What? Oh,
You
yeah.
probably noticed that most of the footage I used in this video essay so far is of men. But girl stalkers can also be found in K-dramas. A lot of times, creepy behavior from female characters is not taken seriously and is played down as a cute crush. When men are stalkers, it is either creepy or romantic. When women are stalkers, it is quirky. Let's look at some examples. Love with Flaws has a side character who is stalking the female lead. Apartment close to the protagonist so she can watch her every move. There's a collage of creepy photos on her wall.
What?
Something every respectable stalker needs. This show has a lukewarm depiction of stalking. She is framed as harmless and benevolent. In the story, her stalking helps the main couple get back together. Another character calls her out for being a creep, but they just hug it out. The plot is not taking her seriously at all.
Oh my
Holy
goodness.
Venus has a creepy girl character too. She's a popular and pretty celebrity who's a huge fan of one of the male protagonists. She keeps reappearing without a warning and pestering him until she wears him down. The guy is visibly uncomfortable with her, always trying to cover himself up whenever she appears, and even avoids changing in front of her poster.
Damn.
In one of the
If you're scared of somebody so much that you don't change in front of their poster, that is time to say no. Let's ditch this stalking shit. It is crazy that female stalkers depicted in K-dramas are depicted as harmless. We reacted to the lady that unalived the English teacher. Always indoors, didn't talk to anybody, give me my change. That person stalking you and that's harmless? Bro, your head will be gone faster from your shoulders. Bro, you'll be in a suitcase. Every stalker is a stalker. Man, woman, male, female, non-binary, whatever stalker is a stalker. That's crazy. Say female stalkers are harmless.
episodes, she pretends to drown to manipulate him to give her CPR. Haha, it was a trick to get a kiss from him, and the guy's best friend helped her with that plan.
What?
That is super creepy. Why is his friend supporting this? The way she keeps crossing boundaries and following him is not taken seriously by the plot, and she gets the guy in the end. Her scenes have funny comedic music in the background. That's how we know that we're rooting for them as a couple. Ironically, this show also has a stalker side plot in which the female lead encounters a creepy guy. That one is taken seriously and is framed as scary and dangerous. Also, the screenwriter does know stalking is bad. Another K-drama that has a female stalker is She's in the Trap, a show that has 4 different stalkers in the story, one of whom is a girl. She's obsessed with a female lead, copies her whole look, and steals her old university presentation. She's super annoying, but not scary, and is treated more like a joke by the plot itself. There are also two scary stalkers, and the male lead is a creep, but he's supposed to be a morally grey bad boy. Cheese in the Trap truly offers the full spectrum of stalker representation.
What?
20th Century Girl, a high school romance movie, is also a great example for this trope. The female lead goes.
Bro, how many movies in K-drama has stalkers, male or female? It looks like every movie has a stalker. The last movie had 4 stalkers. Yo, this is crazy. It's being normalized. Media normalizes stuff. Now, the reason people do that and are caught in real life is because it's been so normalized that some people are disconnected from the fact that it's bad, it's creepy. How many movies has stalkers? This is crazy.
To great lengths to find out everything about a guy. From following him home at night and going through his trash, to finding out his phone number. She keeps notes about every detail as she watches him. Her efforts go way beyond regular teenager shenanigans. And what does she get as a consequence for stalking a guy? Correct, he and his best friend both fall in love with her. Turns out one of the boys knew about it all along and thought it was cute, so it's not creepy at all.
Damn.
Nobody is talking about this subplot because the rest of the movie overshadows the stalking part. But what kind of lessons are viewers going to take from this movie? That going for a guy's trash is a great way to get a boyfriend? Speaking of consequences.
Bro, I could have sworn one day I ate ice cream, put it in the trash, came back out, and it was on the floor. I put it in the trash, and it was on the floor. Now that's getting me thinking, do I have a stalker? Nah, man, nobody knows me like that.
One thing that all these K-dramas have in common is that the consequences for the stalker are never shown. There's almost never a conviction or any sort of punishment in this story. And sadly, this is the most realistic part. Until very recently, stalking was considered a misdemeanor in South Korea. Which
misdemeanor?
Came with a maximum penalty of a 100,000 won fine, which is around 70 euros or 75 US dollars. In 2019, for example, 89% of stalking cases were closed without any action taken by the police. K-dramas often show a scene in which the cops tell a victim that they can't do anything about a stalker, and that is a pretty spot-on representation of reality.
Damn!
In 2021, a new law was introduced. Now, stalkers can be fined with up to 30 million won, or jailed for up to 3 years, which is an improvement compared to the previous law, but it still has major flaws.
Yeah, I agree. Bro, to $75 to stalk one person. So if I have $150, I can stalk 2 people, pay them off, and that's it. That was an abysmal law. And I think that law was in place because of how normalized it was getting. Like every movie had a stalker in it, and it was quirky, it was nice. So like slowly that idea creeps into society. It's like, it's fine. A girl stalking you, and you're here telling us, ha, she's in love with you. You'll be in love with her. Don't worry, no time. You don't like you. We romanticize and normalize stuff like that. And then they creep into society and creep into real life. And then we face real life consequences. People don't make it out alive. This is insane. This is over romanticizing stalking. It's like it's the whole plot. It's the whole thing. Stalk them, fall in love. Stalk them, have another stalker save you from the bigger stalker. And then a girl stalking you. That's quirky. You and your best friend fall in love with her. And this is stalking this. And that is stalking the smelling your sock, taking your thing from the trash, using a come on, man, really?
For a stalker to be convicted, the victim needs to consent to the sentence, which incentivizes the perpetrator into pressuring and intimidating the victim to get the charges dropped. Okay, that is a problem, but surely now more stalkers have faced consequences, right? Not really. In the first year after the new law passed, the police have made around 7,000 arrests for stalking, but only 5% of the suspects have been detained.
Huh? Talking about it being normalized. 7,000 arrests for stalking? 7,000. 7,000. I was talking a moment ago about it being normalized. And out of 7,000, how many got punished? The media is more powerful than people think it is. You keep watching a certain type of movie for a long time, and then you start to pick certain characters subconsciously. People will tell you you're changing, you're becoming this, you're becoming that. The way you put yourself together changes. The way you talk changes, your accent, everything. What you feed the brain sticks, consciously or subconsciously. 7,000. Oh my gosh, bro.
And among the ones who even got punished at all, the majority got a lenient sentence of less than 8 months. Around 1/3 of stalkers got a fine, and another third received probation.
Oh my
Getting
goodness.
away with stalking is still pretty easy in Korea.
Oh my goodness.
Statistically, a stalker is more likely to be someone the victim already knows. There are a lot of different numbers that vary depending on where and when the data is from, but the results are mostly the same. A typical stalker is a current or a former partner, an acquaintance, a colleague, or a neighbor, most of the time. A stalker you never met is terrifying and it does happen, but it is not as common as movies imply. K-dramas depict it the other way around. The guy you know who keeps following you is a harmless love interest, and an abstract faceless stranger you never talk to is the dangerous one. This portrayal plays into the stranger danger phenomena, where the unknown mysterious stalker is presented as the most likely threat. Meanwhile, the actions of someone known or familiar are excused as passionate pursuit. You should be wary of strangers and trust your instincts, but this depiction distorts the perception that nothing bad would happen with someone you know. This trope makes it harder to tell people about a stalker. They might not take it seriously because all they know from movies is stranger danger. Turns out the real stalker are the friends we made along the way. We also have to keep in mind that K-dramas are primarily a form of entertainment that follows storytelling conventions, and not an educational tool. Presenting a stalker as a faceless stranger allows for a heightened dramatic impact in the plot. It introduces an element of mystery and engages the audience in trying to guess the identity of the stalker, which is a compelling narrative device. But it doesn't reflect the reality of being stalked.
Right.
What was the name of that one K-drama where a colleague called the female lead over 300 times, begging her to date him? Wait, that's not from a K-drama. That was a real murder case from 2022. The victim reported her stalker to the police, and there was an investigation, but he was never given a restraining order.
That's what I'm talking about. It's been so normalized. Like before a society realizes that something is being normalized, you know it when stuff like these happen. 300 times, begging her to fall in love with him. He says no, goes to tell the police, no restraining order. Because we see it in movies, it's fine. And now there's a murder case. Come on, man. Really? And I understand when they said K-drama is for entertainment purposes and not for educational purposes. Because like stalkers don't have their faces. It gives the mood heightened, right, to try to guess who it is and stuff like that. But how many people actually know that? And how many people actually are watching it thinking, oh, this is fictional? They are watching it thinking this is how love stories go. A lot of people follow movie. I'm telling you, a lot of people follow trends in movies. You see the guy doing nice things for the girl, and the girl falls in love, and then they go do nice things for somebody, some love interest, and they're like, "Man, you a creep. I don't want you." And they're like, "How is it not working for me? How is it not working for me?" And then there's depression and stuff like that. The age of social media is the most heightened age of depression and self-exiting ever, because people believe what they see and act towards what they see. An example, movies too. That's crazy.
He killed her in a bathroom of a subway station in Seoul. Suddenly, stalking doesn't seem like a romantic gesture anymore, does it? The romanticized portrayal of stalking in K-dramas can have real-life implications, especially for younger audiences who don't have a lot of experiences with dating or understanding healthy relationship dynamics. Viewers might internalize these behaviors as romantic gestures without fully understanding the potential harm or the importance of consent and boundaries. It's
Bro, if you ever do that to me, whoever does that to me, like I'm trying to enjoy my nice time in the car, I bring my window down and you jump scare me like that, you're getting punched. You're getting punched. You're losing at least 12 of your 32 teeth or 40, however many teeth humans have. You're losing a greater chunk. You are going to scare me like that? Bro, God be with you.
really easy to develop unrealistic expectations of romantic relationships by watching K-dramas, in which intense pursuit, possessiveness, and crossing boundaries are necessary components of a passionate relationship. The portrayal of stalking as romantic might discourage viewers from recognizing potentially dangerous situations or red flags in their own relationships. They may downplay or ignore concerning behaviors, believing that love justifies or outweighs any risks or discomfort. K-dramas also teach viewers that they can get attention of their crush by following them and invading their privacy, which is equally as dangerous of a lesson. This trope also desensitizes the societal attitudes towards stalking. If everyone around you thinks it is acceptable, who is going to take it seriously and help? Sure, most viewers have enough critical thinking skills to tell reality and fiction apart, but if that was true, then why are there so many delusional viewers who think that K-dramas are a realistic depiction of dating in Korea?
Worst stalking K-drama.
When it comes to romanticized depiction of stalking, the biggest offender, in my opinion, is Born Again from 2020. The plot of this K-drama centers three characters: a woman, her police officer boyfriend, and her delusional stalker. Doesn't sound like a setup for a love triangle, but surprisingly, it is. The three main characters, who die in the 80s version of the story, get reborn again and are fated to meet in the current time. Except now the cop is corrupt and the stalker is rich and has a new haircut. So this time around, he's hot. He's still an obsessive creep who stalks the female lead though. I hate this plot setup so much. He terrorized her in his previous life, and now her stalker is her fate again in this life?
Oh my
goodness. Leave her alone. Why is this framed as a—
Leave her alone! Leave her alone! Bro, why is everything stalking though? Like, three of them dying in their previous lives, they get reborn, and they're stalking. One has to stalk another. Like, why, bro? They can't be friends, they can't be neighbors. Like, one has to stalk the other. Somebody has to stalk, and then a bigger stalker, and then the stalker. Come on, bro. It is too much. I didn't know K-drama had this much stalking. I just didn't know.
The fated lover's story. The female lead in Born Again is insufferable. She's the most compassionate and non-judgmental person ever. Like, so compassionate. She doesn't want to hurt her stalker's feelings and wants to fix him in both lifetimes. Why is everyone so mean to him? Just because he's a murderer and a stalker doesn't mean he's a bad person. I know female leads in K-drama.
Those make him a bad person. A murderer and a stalker, you are a bad person. What the heck? Just because he's the... Oh my goodness. This male lead character and the producers, man, like, come up with better stories, to be honest. Bro, if the person is a murderer and a stalker, the person cannot be a hero. Shouldn't allowed to be a hero. Dodging all consequences to fall in love with the main lead because in their previous life they were in love and all that stuff. Crazy.
Have to be humble and virtuous, but this is too much. Girl, he stole your diary, he's tracking your phone, and he's planning to kill your boyfriend. He needs a restraining order and not a hug. What is the takeaway here? That you need to be kind to your stalker because deep down he's just a nice guy who deserves to be loved? This K-drama does this thing where they set up the male lead to look suspicious so they can make it into a plot twist that actually he's not the bad guy, except he is. They bait and switch the male leads and try to sell us on the idea that the guy she loved in both lifetimes is actually the villain and the stalker is just a misunderstood hero. I get where romanticized depiction of creepy behavior is coming from. K-dramas allow viewers to indulge in a fantasy of a man being obsessed with you through the safe distance of a TV screen. A healthy relationship with boundaries and trust is actually really boring to watch for 16 episodes. I really appreciate a dark story, but I just want a show that doesn't romanticize obsession.
Right.
We as the audience deserve better. And so does Lee So-hyuk. Why is he always the second lead?
Lee So-hyuk, I've heard his name before. I can't remember where. The best
Link,
stalking film.
Eat, Love, Kill from 2022 has the most nuanced and realistic stalking representation that I have ever seen in a K-drama. The female lead has a stalker, a delusional co-worker who thinks that they are dating. It starts with unwanted gifts and following her home, and escalates to an attack that leaves the protagonist traumatized. This K-drama does a phenomenal job portraying PTSD and what stalking does to a victim. Her healing process is not sugar-coated. She has nightmares, she's scared, and she's paranoid. The female lead also realizes that she is a survivor. She grapples with what it means and realizes that other people don't always come out alive after what happened to her. She learns how to trust men again and gets a supportive green flag boyfriend, but the relationship is not depicted as a fairy tale. She finds new confidence, learns self-defense, and gets new friends. The dynamic within her family after the attack is also explored in the story. Stalking is taken 100% seriously by the plot and is depicted as a complex issue from the survivor's point of view, without making her a flawless victim. She is shown as vulnerable, but also as strong. This K-drama also briefly explores how the delusion felt for the stalker, contrasting it against her perspective, but not making it all about him. This show has 16 episodes and it really takes the time to explore this topic with compassion and still has enough screen time for comedy, romance, and murder mysteries.
Wow.
If you are looking for a realistic and raw depiction of stalking that is not romanticized or sensationalized, then this is the K-drama you should watch.
Wow.
There are so many shows that include an obsessive protagonist that I couldn't watch all of them for this video essay. I would love to hear from you in the comments about other K-dramas and how they handled this topic.
Wow. Kdrama Research Institute, this is amazing. Salute to you. Hats off. This is perfect. This is perfect from defining what stalking is, how the looks are different, the sound and how it makes frames of the same stalking different, and how they're portrayed in movies to create a story, a love story, however being so horrible that it gives people the delusions that stalking is the way to go, and it translates to real life. Kdrama Research Institute, you are worthy of that name. Salute to you, and a standing ovation to you. You are amazing. Thank you. This is amazing. Let me know, what movie did you watch that was featured in? Which of the featured movies have you watched? And what was your thought after finding out that it was stalking all along, not a love story? This is eye-opening. Now I'm not going to watch a lot of movies the same. If I see a stalker and the male interest is sneaky and hiding, and the female lead is also sneaky and hide, bro, that is stalking. I don't care. I'm not rooting for you. I'm rooting for the police to get you out of here. I think it's time for there to be a shift. The last movie is a movie I would like to watch. The last movie being the realistic movie is amazing. That is a movie that should be championed. Stalking has consequences, and if you mess up, you will face the consequences. Amazing video. Amazing video. 1000% amazing. Thank you so much, Kdrama Research Institute. Love this, love this, love this. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Do well to like, share, subscribe. The original video will be linked in the description. Discord is in the description. Join the Discord. Check out Kdrama Research Institute's channel. Like this video, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Was this eye-opening for you? Put it in the comments. I love you so much. I'll catch you on the next one.